All right, we are live. Welcome back, everybody, to another DoneJS contributors meeting. This week we're adding James and Chris. They work at Bitovi, and they're gonna be working full time on the DoneJS stack for a little bit. I guess I will start. I put my my notes in the forums. I'll share this link with everybody in case you haven't seen it yet. We're going to put your notes. I think a lot of people have already updated it. So my notes, last week we got out 2.3.8, and that's what I think is really the first really good solid 2.3 bug. Of course, we just noticed that if you're using Steal to import templates, that there's a bug that causes a memory leak. So we will. And actually, Julian, I think you're building your own. You have your own importer for require.js. Is that you?
No.
There was somebody who does that. Might not have been you. Okay, somebody out there probably has the same bug. Essentially, templates actually take 3 arguments now, even though the user never had to pass that third argument. It takes data, helper options, and the last argument is the node list. There's an optional node list that when templates are calling subtemplates, they'll pass to make sure we're able to unbind things if the outer template has a live section that gets removed. It needs to tear down what's ever going on inside the inner template. That works unless you're using Stash to import templates. So David, we probably have to get a 2.3.9 out pretty soon to fix that for people. I've mostly finished the release article. I want to talk about that. David is giving me some feedback, so is Matthew and Brian. But I want to talk about it more because I don't totally agree with the feedback. And I want to figure out a way to compromise with it. Also, I did Geek Fest yesterday. There was about 100 people, got rid of about 40 plus 45 t-shirts, which is really good. A lot of people were interested. We probably had about 20 people follow DoneJS yesterday from it, which means that people were taking t-shirts and not following, but our stars went up too, so hopefully they were starring. The reception was really good, even though I had 10 minutes less than they told me I was going to have. Talking with someone after, though, who is really experienced in Groupon, it was at Groupon, their head, tech, one of their tech product people, he said he didn't really, the guide part going through the chat, building the chat, he said was nice, but what he really wanted to know is just directly how does it stand apart from competitors. So I have that frequently asked questions in the beginning, I was thinking about just making I kind of want to make a 2-minute slide of just point. Here's quick overview of how it stands out. Now let's get into the how do you actually use it? What does it feel like? But a lot of other people, we probably got 5 or 6 people signing up for the full day training from it, which is really good as well. So next week I'm talking at 4. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday I'm speaking at more meetups. So that it's going good, I guess. So next week, now really me, David, and Matthew, we got to focus on Place My Order, getting that guide really tight as the other guide is, and then still working on their evangelism roadmap. That's kind of going to have to take a back seat now because of Place My Order. Getting that done is so important. So that's my status.
I'll go ahead.
Okay.
Place My Order guide. I found. Can you mute?
Yep.
Hear an echo. So I saw the API issue that you submitted. It was pretty interesting when a library that is as much used as Socket.io makes a breaking change, how quickly that propagates through everything. It should be fixed, but I noticed that the semantic version, it uses the squiggle for the API, which is why I didn't update. So I'm going to change that and make a new release. So yeah, you were right. That should be fixed pretty quick, though. I have 3 meetups coming up in the next week and a half. One needs, the one in Vancouver with Julia needs a little more work, I think, than what we already have, but I have one on Tuesday in Victoria. Sorry, of course, cats. And then I was also looking more into the guide automation, which works in Linux, but still doesn't work in Windows, which is frustrating. But I think we're going to put that back to get the guide for placement order tight. And then we have to automate that one anyway, too. So that will be probably the same problem then.
So one thing that I want to make sure if you're doing all of these meetups, that if you haven't done already, is are all of these in Vancouver-ish?
No, well, Victoria is like an hour and a half ferry ride from here, and the other one is in Calgary, which I have to fly.
Oh, the other one's in Calgary. Okay. If the ones are like kind of co-located in places where like what we want to do is what I'm doing in Chicago, where I'm hitting all the local Chicago meetups and I'm pushing people towards the DoneJS meetup and training. So
we have 178 people for this one here, so that will probably be a good candidate to offer like the more in-depth one-day training.
So, but what you need to do is you need to I'll quick walk through, and then we should walk through this again and create a checklist, which is what to do for a meetup. You should have your other meetup page already created for DoneJS Vancouver or whatever. Already an event created. You don't have to have a time or place. You have to say this is what it will be, sign up, and once we have 10, 15 people coming, we'll get a place and we'll do it. That's what I did with DoneJS, and that's what I did with Silicon Valley, and then it's just worked out. Eventually we got enough people. Then make sure you got your t-shirts, your stickers.
I have a million. I don't know if I brought stickers.
Huh?
I don't know if I brought that many stickers.
Then get some. We can order them and probably have them out real quick.
Yeah. Don't send them from the US.
Sure, but business cards, t-shirts, stickers.
Yeah.
Go make sure. I always put in the comment of every meetup, like, hey, I'm bringing t-shirts for anybody who follows DoneJS. And in the beginning, I say, hey, if you guys follow DoneJS, please just show me on your cell phone and give me. I'll hand you a t-shirt. And you get there early as people are walking in. You're talking with them. I shake hands. Like that's a great way to like meet people. It's kind of shake their hand. Let me see. You ask them to see their cell phone, to show me on your cell phone, because that's like a good way for them just to like come up to you personally. Hey, I'm Justin. Nice to meet you. And then afterwards, I always then, hey, for anybody who doesn't remember, here's the link to the meetup. Please sign up. And that's worked good so far. I think that's a really good strategy of getting people into the club.
Yeah. Getting a one-day training here will be nice because nobody has to travel, right? So it's a little effort for getting a lot out of it, I think. So,
yeah. So make sure that is set up like ASAP.
Yep.
Cool. Anything else?
No.
Awesome. Anybody want to go next? I can do Sheriff's if he's muted. So he and I worked on last week getting the Define plugin to work without with just getters and setters essentially, and he's working on making. We got getters to work, and he's working on making setters work, and then we're meeting tomorrow to work on that. Which would be really cool, actually. Like I'm hoping that him and I tomorrow, we might actually be able, if we can get setters to work decent, I actually might publish oh yeah, the setter works without a callback. If we can get that, I might help him set it up so that it's actually like published on NPM, and then people could actually like start using it, start using this defined in projects that are IE 9 and above, which would be really cool.
Which is every supported IE. Oh, they drop everything but 11, right?
I don't know. Doesn't matter what Windows. It doesn't matter what Microsoft supports. It matters what our clients and people who are using our frameworks need to support. Well, who wants to go next?
Hey, I can go next.
Cool.
Sure. So, based on the discussions that we had last week, I wanted to understand the new features that will be part of CanJS 3.0, and I wanted to have a meeting with Justin. So we did have this meeting this Monday this week, and based on that discussion, I have started looking into issue number 962, which is about removing the deprecated APIs. So there are multiple items to take care of here. I think the easiest one for me would be to take up the deprecated plugins that will no longer be used. For example, CanMap attributes and CanMap setup. So this is the item that I'm planning to take up next. If I don't understand anything, or if I run into any problems, I'll just post my question to this issue. But I'm planning to start on this this item.
Awesome. That works great. What I would do is always create another issue. So, like we did for can control route, create another issue just for that one part, and then kind of do the work in there, but link it from this main overview one, if that makes sense.
I will do that, yeah. I'll take care of that.
And then, yeah, I just realized I forgot, I think, to push my can control route major changes. So I will try to remember that. I will remember it today. I'll make sure I do that today. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Just schedule a meeting if you want to meet again, although it would have to be this week unless it's going to be until next Wednesday. If it's not tomorrow or Friday, I'm going to be busy until next Wednesday. But we can meet if you want.
Sure.
Cool. So what Prashant is doing, in case people didn't look at the issue, so there's a lot of cleanup that needs to be done for 3.0. We want to remove things like the old attributes plugin, the setter plugin. Can control route really is deprecated. So the pattern is two things. He's going to go through and start putting deprecation notices on make sure that everything that's deprecated, it has like a warning, and also the documentation clearly states that it's deprecated. And then at the same time, we've created a major branch, and there he's just going to start removing stuff or making the breaking changes that are, the breaking changes that need to be made. So this way, I hope at least that we can have a 2, 3, 12 or whatever, that if someone loads it, it's just going to go, you're breaking all the way down. Like, none of this is going to be supported in 3.0, and give people those warnings to fix it before then they can move. Then they can move to 3.0. And 3.0, I would like to be largely backwards compatible as long as you're doing the things that are like 2.2 and 2.3. The things to be doing in those. You're using stash. You're using the define plugin instead of all those other ones. You're not using like computes on a maps prototype, things like that. You shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't have been doing for a while. There's good upgrade paths. Those things will all be gone in 3.0, which will be awesome actually. So thanks, Prashant.
Okay, thanks.
Cool. Julian, do you have a status update you want to give?
Do you hear me? But
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
okay.
Gotta turn around to see the reaction.
So you hear me yet?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I can hear you.
So yeah, okay. But I think I have to leave with one client. I'll be back in a second.
Okay. All right. We'll move on. All right. Chris, you want to go?
Yeah, sure. Been doing some work with CanDerive, I guess kind of preparing it for incorporation into CanJS. Doing some research on performance, working with another Bitovi teammate, Jan, to document it a little better and just kind of start to clean it up and get it ready for real-time use.
Okay. So.
So I'm back again.
Oh, that's good. But Chris, what's the status?
Okay.
Where is it? And
Well, currently it's performing really well. I think the code base is, for the most part, pretty solid. Obviously, there could be some like refactoring here and there, but I think overall it's going to be a very valuable tool once it's documented well and kind of described properly.
okay. So can you put a little more meat on that? Like tangible. Like when do you think certain stuff will be done? Like what's the path going forward? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess currently within like 2 weeks we'd like to have some documentation together, maybe a blog post, and also I'm going to start giving presentations and local meetups. I've got one scheduled for the 21st in Charlotte.
So
I'm not sure what you're driving at though.
Well, I mean, like what's the order of what you're gonna work on? Are you gonna work on documentation next? Are you gonna work on there's this change that needs to be made like technically to make it work, right? What's the path to getting out?
Sure. Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah. I think the first step is going to be documenting the current API, which I think will expose that we want to change some of the API. The next thing will be identifying some performance gains, additional performance gains, and addressing those. Ultimately, just getting it ready so that a developer could pick it up really easily and pop it into their project, no problem.
Are you going to do wiki-based documentation or just like README?
I think we'd go with the README for now. Well, actually, you know what? I think Jan had intentions of plugging in DocumentJS to it, so that'll be nice. Yeah, that'll get us a bit further.
Unless you need DocumentJS, I would suggest going with the README. It's much easier to edit and maintain. Like for CanSet, a README is totally sufficient.
Right.
For something like CanConnect, it's not. You got to kind of pick. It's much more easier to edit just a README file for anybody to come in and make improvements to that.
Especially for like probably lower level API like that.
Yeah. So I would lean to a README if you can fit in the API. So you think by like Wednesday you'll have the API documented?
Next Wednesday, yeah, I think we
No, I
could
mean,
probably.
sorry, this Friday. Yeah,
Oh.
next. There's not
Yeah, I
much
think
to
we
the
could probably
API
have
at this
it done.
point, right? The Surface API.
Yeah, that should be pretty easy.
Cool. Look forward to it. Awesome. Thank you. Hey, James.
Hello.
Actually, does Julian, do you want to go?
What's up?
Julian, did you want to go?
Okay, I can.
Yeah.
Okay, so I share my screen. Do you see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I have posted this, this to-dos. I would like to work over the next weeks. I have this Vagrant, then documentation, then YouTube videos in German. So next week maybe there's a meetup where I can help somebody me with the stuff I can talk about. It's my first meetup, so maybe someone can give me some presentations or something like that. And then can connect improvements. There are some issues I posted, and maybe Justin and I can go over these issues and look at it. So first, the last 2 days I'm working on a Vagrant. This is done yet. I have created a little box where is a Linux inside, and this Linux is configured with Packer. Packer is an automation tool, and in this virtual machine we have something configured. I'll look at. So we have here the bootstrap file. I installed MongoDB, GitHub or a Git, Node.js, and some other stuff like Gulp, Gulpwatch, Steel Tools, and HTTP server. If I started this Vagrant machine, I can go via SHE on the machine. I can start the HTTP server, and I have full access to the Linux. So if there's a HTTP server started, and I can go on it. I have to look, where is it? So here, this is the HTTP server, and we are having here this it's with Steel, and it's a simple example. Some nice thing we also can do with this is we can make gulp. We change into and say gulp. So I have to do a live reload with gulp. Here is something I have listened for JavaScript changes or less changes, and make a live reload. We can make this happen if we go back and take this one here, and I can connect to the live reload server, and if I change something like the stash here, it should be It should be updated, but it isn't.
The problems with live demos, huh?
Yeah, it's
There's
working
a German word for
whole
it.
day. It's working the whole day, but now it isn't working.
Yeah, so that's why my DoneJS presentation that I do is all videos that I've pre-recorded. That's the way to do it.
So we try another test. Yeah, okay, so, but why is it not? It's reloading, but it's not. Do I have to? No. I have develop. Okay, we try green. No, it's not working. Okay, but it's worked the whole day. But it's working right now if I look deeper into it. So this is a cool thing. So we can start a Vagrant machine, put all the development stuff into it, and somebody can download this machine, start it, and start coding without any stuff to install. So we have also this MongoDB in it. It's MongoDB integrated, and we can work with it. So we have access to the MongoDB with the Windows machine here on my host. I have installed Mongo Chef, and then we can connect it to the MongoDB server. The only problem I have is, and I talked to Matthew and Justin last time, is that that is a problem with symlinks. So we have this, we can't install Node modules that created symlinks on the Linux guest machine. So I have installed several modules locally. They have no symlinks dependencies or something like that inside, but Steel tools have these dependencies, and some dependency is creating a symlink. So I can't install this module locally because I have fully access to this folder. It's synchronizing each other. So this is the same folder as in the guest machine. So the problem is if I make a build, I have this build file. It's simple. It's using the main JS file and put in some dist folder. But if I'm using SAS as a CSS compiler, it's not working. I've created this issue, or I found this issue on Steel SAS. Maybe Matthew can look over it. If I'm using less, I can make a build, and it's fully run and it's fully okay. So I have this build here, and I can switch over here and can say, okay, I want a production build, and if I reload it, this is the production file. So it's working. It's working with less, but as with SAS, we have problems by compiling this. It's also working with a function unit. You can run tests on it. So we can say my comp. It's fully working and with no configuration out of the box. Only on the host Windows machine you have to install Node. So you have to install Node because you are install this modules locally on your Windows machine. So you have this npm, this package JSON file, and in it you can set its dependencies and install this with the local node installation on your Windows PC. And if maybe the build is the only problem we have right now. So this is the to-do I have with Matthew, and maybe with Justin, have time, we can talk about these problems, and maybe we can find out what it is.
Yeah,
So
I think the problem just has, I mean, it's related to doing a global install, that it's not able to probably find the less module correctly.
yeah, the less module is working.
Not the less, I mean the SAS.
The SAS, yeah, but why is the less working and the SAS not?
Because I think Steel bundles less. I think it like packages it. I thought Steel, it's like less is, I think, like a, let me make sure I'm saying the right thing. Yeah, the less, we actually put the less engine inside of StealJS, so it's kind of like a favored nation, if you will, which it shouldn't be. But that's why less will work like no matter what, because it's bundled with Steel, so it doesn't have to do the same kind of node modules lookup to find the less module that it does have to find the SAS module. So
can we bundle SAS too, or is it not a
I would
good?
prefer us actually not to bundle even less. I mean, I did it for historical reasons with CanJS or for Steel, because less just used to work out of the batch, out of the box with less, so I wanted that same thing. I would rather us actually pull out less and just make it so both work the same way.
Okay, but what is when we find out that it's not working? Steel tools globally installed on this Vagrant. So we have, we'll
have to figure out a way to make it so maybe you can pass programmatically in your config or something like that the path to less or to SAS or something like that.
Okay.
There'll be a configuration way no matter what to figure it out. Hopefully it's not a terrible way.
Okay. So, but we are focused on the Steel tool environment and not on the Vagrant environment, because the Vagrant environment is closed, so we can't rewrite the Vagrant machine configuration because it's not possible.
I mean, there'll be like a Steel config that you have to set up. Is what I think the answer will be.
Okay. So next year, documentation, the Vagrant. Maybe this is simple for a simple app. I can write a README and how you can set up a Vagrant machine with all the stuff if it's working. I also want to make some videos with working with CanJS, so we can make some development with PHP and the CanJS on the JavaScript side. Also working with Vagrant, maybe I think it's a good example. The meetup I have to next week, and the other stuff. So I'm done.
Awesome. Like I said, for the videos, we can actually give you access to the CanJS account. So if you want to post your videos there, you can totally do that.
So you talk about the CanJS chat. Is in our private chat? Is it I'm in the right one, or is it?
Oh no. So sorry, two different things. What I'm talking about, when you're making videos in this forum, I was like, hey, if you want to actually use the CanJS channel, if you want to publish things under the CanJS or DoneJS channel, you can totally do that. I can add you as an account administrator, and then you can actually upload your videos to those if you want. Or you can do them on your own personal one, whatever you prefer. I'm just saying that that's a possibility.
Okay.
What I was saying in the in Gitter was that, and this kind of goes for everybody. Sometimes people will personally message me questions that don't need to be like personal. And I guess I'm just saying that if you put those in the chat room, it makes the chat room look like it's active and things are going on. So if it's a public question, just ask me publicly in the Gitter CanJS chat rooms, not like a private message, just because it lets people know that stuff's happening in our tools and frameworks. So that's all I was trying to say there.
Okay. Understand.
Just a marketing thing, I guess. Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much, Julian. Yeah, I gave you access to that repository so you can actually move your DoneJS vagrant there.
Okay, you're welcome.
Cool. Very cool. All right, James.
What's up?
You want to give your status?
I'm just working on the Room Planner app.
Yeah. Do you want to show what it looks like? And
It's not running right now. No.
oh, you don't have the old version running somewhere?
I do, but that's not the open source version. Do you want me to show that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not really prepared for this. Can I just do it next time?
You don't have the link. The link is just not online somewhere. So, do you want to talk about like what is the Room Planner app and what your plans are for it?
Can you see my screen?
Nope.
Can you see it now?
Not yet.
No, it's black.
How about now?
Still no.
Well, okay, I'll just talk about it.
We saw it for a second. I saw Marshall actually for a second.
Still nothing?
Yeah, it's now.
Here we go.
Okay.
There we go. Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, sorry, what do you want me to talk about specifically?
So in general, like for stand-up, you say kind of what you've worked on and what your plans are to work on. And in this case, nobody's seen the Room Planner, so to just kind of give them an overview of what it does. And
Well, this fits. This is a client project that we're moving to open source. The client version of it, which is right here, has specific business needs. Our client is someone who licenses out the software to other companies that sell. This one in particular sells science equipment for classrooms. So we plan out the entire room. All of this stuff is to scale. The grid on here is a foot by foot to scale, and it generates a list of items that are placed into the room, and you have price points for each of those items. So it's just like a sales lead thing, and they can just plan with their clients what the school needs or what the laboratory needs, and then they Fun Science can make the sale, and yeah. So it's just a room planning app. But this is all SVG. It's dynamic, so it fills up as much space as possible. It's pretty quick. You can move things around, etc. I have a bunch of different categories for different types of furniture that you can place in there. They have SVG icons for each one of the furnitures. These are individual SVG files, and I can drag them into the room, and it will copy into this SVG because this is just one SVG file here. Or I guess it's just data. It's not really a file yet, but yeah. And we were just recently implementing a 3D view. It's just a demo right now, but it does work. Yes. We got some ideas to move forward on that if the contract comes through for it, but it's just a demo for now. And it's live, so if I pile all this stuff into the middle, it's going to do that on the 3D as well. But yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
So the plans, you want to walk through the plans for this?
Okay, so for the open source side of it, we're going to remove obviously all the SVGs because they're the client's. That's the client's property. But we're going to move in a. We're going to get rid of all the business rule stuff. Like if you hit print up here, it takes you to save it so that they can get your email address, and it has all this big form that's specific. And we're going to blow all that out for the open source version and make it. So that it automatically saves, similar to JS bin. So when you first create a room, you'll get that room's ID / a version number, like a 0 at first. And then any changes you make, as you make the changes, it'll just shoot it off to the server and save it. And if you hard save it, it will update your revision number just like it does on JS bin. We have, when you open a new room, it has these pre-planned rooms. We have a similar idea for what the landing page will be on the open source version. We're going to have just one page that has like the really small, like create a new room, form at the top, and then we're going to have pre-planned rooms, and then we're going to have all the rooms that are being saved currently that other people around the globe potentially are working on, just so you can see the latest layout always. I'll probably do one of those infinite scroll things where it just keeps loading 10 at a time or something like that, because the SVGs can get pretty heavy if they're not optimized.
So just to summarize, the first goal is to tear out the proprietary bits, replace them with kind of dummy, here's what a chair is that we make, and then clean up the interface so it's a little bit more practical and simplified, so that's better to learn from.
Yep.
That's kind of phase one.
Yep. So one question: what is behind the scenes? It's all components, CanJS components, and can route, or is it something different?
So that's part of phase two. So basically, it's everything but the SVG part is CanJS and component-based and route-based, right, James?
Yeah, I mean, there's even CanJS in this SVG, because this thing is an interactive SVG component, is what I called it. It's mostly jQuery to do the handling and stuff, but the events are all bound with DoneJS or CanJS rather, through DoneJS. But yeah.
So yeah, the second phase is going to be trying to make the SVG parts a little bit more CanJSified,
yes,
so that you could have a custom element that represents a table or something like that, and have a view model that backs it all.
Yep, that will require some changes in components though, so that we can hide the component wrapper in the output of a.
Or release it as a G or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Some reason that makes me laugh. Like,
yeah,
our components are G's. Gangsters.
The component itself here is pretty interesting. It's got a lot of configuration options that aren't being utilized in the application. It's based on a query string, just a jQuery query string for what objects are where, or what it defines an object. So I'm saying for this particular app, I'm saying anything that is a G. Well, so I have a layer. The first, if an immediate child of the SVG is a G, that's a layer. And if an immediate child of a layer is a G, then that's an object, and anything else can be inside the object. So you can change it so that if you had a different SVG source, or if you were doing something completely different and still wanted to use the interactive SVG component, you can change the query string and do completely different things.
Sorry, James. We don't have too much more time.
Actually, I'm gonna drop off because I have to
Yeah, we have to do we have a training this week in 10 minutes, and David and I are doing the define plugin.
No problem.
So, anyways, just real quick, so for next Wednesday, what would you like to have kind of see done?
Next Wednesday, most of the changes that we talked about doing, almost all of them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, so just on a high level, everybody, the plan is we're actually going to have like 4 or 5 example apps. We'll have Place My Order, we'll have the chat, we're going to have this, we're going to have a job cost tracker, and then we're going to have my basketball bitballs application. So we'll have 5 hopefully really quality example apps for people to learn DoneJS from. My guess would be by the end of February, hopefully. At least 4 by the end of February. Cool, awesome, thanks, James.
Yep, no problem.
All right, anything else? All right, everybody, thank you so much. See you next Wednesday.
Yep,
Yeah,
bye.
thanks.
Thank you.
And the define plugin. See ya.